Yes, people, Colombian drug lord Dario Antonio Usuga David, also known as Otoniel, has been extradited to the USA. Otoniel was escorted from prison by heavily armed soldiers and police onto a plane for his extradition. The notorious drug lord has been compared to the likes of Pablo Escobar, who ran the Medellin cartel during the 1970s, 80s and 90s. Otoniel worked his way through multiple guerrilla groups on both the left and right, and was also said to be the leader of the Gaetanist Self-Defense Forces of Colombia. First indicted in 2009, Otoniel had narcotics charges drawn up against him for allegedly providing assistance to a far-right paramilitary group designated a terror organization by the US government. Further indictments in Brooklyn and Miami federal courts accused him of importing at least 73 tons of cocaine into the US between 2003 and 2014 through countries including Venezuela, Guatemala, Mexico, Panama and Honduras. Otoniel's next step in life would see him becoming a leader of the Gulf Clan. He succeeded his brother, who had been killed in a police shootout early in 2012, and embarked on a cop-killing strategy used by Escobar. The gang's army of assassins terrorized much of northern Colombia to gain control of major cocaine smuggling routes through thick jungles north to Central America and onto the US, with Colombian authorities believing him to be responsible for trafficking between 180 to 200 tons of cocaine every year. Otoniel managed to stay on the run for more than a decade, thanks in part to paying off state officials and aligning himself with militants, experts believe. Authorities accuse him of being responsible for the deaths of hundreds of members of Colombia's security forces. Colombian President Ivan Duque takes an unsurprisingly dim view of his country's most wanted drug lord, who he says is comparable only to Pablo Escobar. He is not the most dangerous trafficker in the world, Mr. Duque claimed, but he is a murderer of social leaders, abuser of boys and girls and adolescents, and a murderer of policemen. A $5 million reward was offered for his capture years after Colombian police first saw his arrest in 2011. He was finally captured in a remarkable military operation in Antioquia province last October. Officials say intelligence provided by the US and the UK led more than 500 soldiers and members of Colombian special forces to his jungle hideout, which was protected by 8 rings of security. The mission involved almost 24 helicopters and various unmanned drones, though Otoniel later told Special Jurisdiction for Peace, the JEP, tribunal that he had handed himself in. His lawyers also argued against his extradition, saying he should be allowed to testify before the JEP, confess his role in Colombia's nearly 6 decades of internal conflict, and reveal links between the military and illegal armed groups. The High Court went on to dismiss a petition from a group of his victims, who argued that his extradition would violate their rights to justice and reparation. They called for him to first face more than 128 proceedings against him in Colombia, but President Duque says that from the United States, Otoniel will continue collaborating with the Colombian authorities in the investigations against him, and once he completes any jail time, he will return to Colombia to pay for the crimes he committed. Mad one there, people. But just so you can get some perspective on the actual level of drugs he was moving, 1 ton is roughly equal to 907 kilos, which is just astonishing to think about. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, check back for more, yeah? Peace.